In this video, we will describe how to set up and manage rodeos.
Rodeo Producer offers the ability to manage three competition types: rodeo competitions, barrel racing competitions, and team roping competitions. Your account will have been set to a primary competition event type, either rodeo, barrel racing, or team roping. You can manage all event types with a simple click of a button to switch the event type. For your members, they will be able to view whatever competitions and events you have set up, as well as enter the various event types from the entry form. The event type option buttons are available on all admin pages where switching event types is available.
We will go to the start link, log into our demo account. We'll go rodeo setup, set rodeos. Now the process is the same to add or edit rodeos. In fact, it uses the same form, and you'll find that using Rodeo Producer is viewing information in tables and using forms to edit or add to that table. And because of the way that Rodeo Producer is built, you should never need to enter the same data twice. So here we have an existing season with 3 rodeos in it already. And as I said, we can add a new rodeo to the schedule by clicking the link here, or we can edit a rodeo to see what's in there. Let's start off by viewing and editing our April rodeo here. So we can name this anything we want: April Rodeo or the April 14th Rodeo, whatever we want to call it. We're going to correct the location information. We would enter the start date, so you would choose your month, your day, your year, and the same for the last day of the rodeo. We will set the entry open date, that is the date in which online entries are open, and the date and time in which they close. These settings here turn on or off the ability to view the draw, to view it as official, to view the results, and to view the results as official on the public side or on the member side of Rodeo Producer. So if they're turned on, then they're available to view. If they're turned off, then it means the admin still has time to edit, adjust, make changes, and then they would turn it to view or view as official when appropriate. A locked rodeo prevents changes to the rodeo data, so it's just a safeguard. Only the super admin has the ability to unlock a rodeo, and then so if it's unlocked, then any of the admins that have access can make the changes they're allowed to. If it's locked, changes cannot be made. Setting a rodeo as a finals rodeo means that these results are going to be excluded from the season standings. Now you can override that actually in your settings, but by default it excludes it from the standings. You can specify here what will be included in the finals prize purse. This can vary by organization, whether it's only the added money or whether it's entry fees only or the combination of both. Usually it's both, but we have the flexibility here. And you can also override the admin fees, which are set for finals, so you can choose to charge them or to not charge them. And in a lot of cases, because it's the finals now, a lot of organizations do not charge admin fees for finals rodeos. You can mark a rodeo as canceled, and what this does is that it excludes it from rodeo counts and also sets all fees owed to 0 so that a member doesn't actually pay any what would have been outstanding fees to this rodeo. We can turn on or off the calculation of the average. So this only applies to this rodeo, and it's specifically for multi-go rodeos, so that if it's turned off, then the results that are calculated, say after go 1, are not going to calculate the average. So nobody sees go 1, go 2 has not been run yet, but yet there's an average. So it just kind of reduces the number of questions that may occur. And then after the last go is completed, you would set this to on so that it would calculate the averages. For whatever reason you need, you can exclude this particular rodeo from being counted in the member rodeo count totals. You can exclude a rodeo from standings, so maybe it's a special exhibition event. You can use something called exclude member types. So what this does is it allows you to set a list of member types that cannot be included in the results. If this is a dual approved rodeo, so if you co-sponsor rodeos with other associations, that is where this can be put in. If there's multiple associations, just put in each separated by a comma. If there's another lead association, so if you are actually the co-sponsor, then you would put in the name of the lead association. If at this rodeo you have a rodeo specific admin fee, so if at most rodeos you charge, say, a 10% admin fee, that's the holdback from the entry fees. If it's different at this rodeo, you can override that global setting here. If you have a specific email address that notifications should go to, that is the entry email notifications, then you can enter it here, and that's where the notifications will go. We do have something called a paired rodeo. That would be another rodeo on the same weekend that this one is paired with. There'll be more discussion of that in advanced settings. Is this rodeo to be a per go entry selection? So this would be if the rodeo is, say, a multi-go rodeo, and you can choose to enter go one or go two or both. Then we would turn this on. This one is not set to be a multi-go rodeo. It's a standard. We'll just leave that as off. This will also be covered in some of the advanced settings. So then we have our rodeo formats. And so first of all, we have the selection for a standard rodeo. And then we have all of the settings for multi-go rodeos. So we'll discuss the standard first. So the standard rodeo is a rodeo in which each competitor rides or runs in their event once per the rodeo. So it may be split into different performances. You may have a performance on Saturday and another one on the Sunday, in which half of the competitors compete in performance one and the other half in performance two, and then they're all lumped together for the calculation of results. So you would specify the dates and the start time for those performances here. Now, if this is a multi-go rodeo, first of all, you want to make sure that, as it states here, you have payouts, points, and draw order settings set up for the multi-go formats. Those are covered in settings, set payouts, and placings. So if it is the multi-go, you can choose 2 go plus average, 3 go plus average, etc. And then you would specify the dates and start times of each go. So now we're into the events and selecting the events. When you create a new rodeo, it will by default include all of your events that are in your database. If not all of those events are included in a rodeo, you would simply check them off. And then it is not available to be entered by a competitor. It doesn't show up in the draw. So we will leave them all in here. If there is added money to the purse, you can enter it here. So maybe senior barrel racing has $1,000 added. If there are lump sum expenses taken out of the entry fees prior to calculation of results, you would enter that amount here. If the entry fee for this rodeo, for this specific rodeo, is different than what you set in the event settings, then you can override that entry fee here. So for this event, we had actually set an entry fee of $50 in set events. You can override it here. I've set it to 51. You'll notice that these particular column headings all have a description attached to them just by mousing over. So the entries per member, this is the number of entries that a member can enter in this event in this rodeo. So if it is, the default is one. If we set it to two, then any member can choose to enter this event twice. And in fact, this event will show up twice in the entry form. The default is one. Max entries per rodeo. The default of zero simply means that there is no limit. What this is this is the total number of entries, the total entry count that will be allowed in this event. So perhaps in saddle bronc, due to stock animal limitations, maybe there's a maximum number of 10 competitors allowed in saddle bronc. So we can set that to 10. As we mentioned when we were discussing rodeo setup set events, there is a sort order or a draw sort order. You can specify it to be different here. You can set these events to occur in the draw in a different order by setting it here. The admin percent override is set in system settings. It is a global setting. If it is different at this rodeo for this event, then you can specify it differently here. 0.1 would be a 10% admin fee. So we scroll down further to a few other settings. This is where you would pick your stock contractor and the contact person for that contractor. If you are using multiple stock contractors in a rodeo, then we would specify them here. You can choose to display the name and contact information for the rodeo secretary for this particular rodeo. If you have any other notes to competitors that you wish to provide to them at the time of entry, this is where you would enter that. Or if there will be specific instructions, perhaps this is notifying them of beer gardens available or concession on site or things like that. You can provide that type of information in here. Or if you have other information that needs to be communicated to your members, this is one of the places you can do that. Another place you can communicate information to your members is under settings, set page top messages. This would be specific, obviously, to what they would see in the rodeo schedule. A couple of other quick features that we want to bring your attention to. The add a new rodeo button uses the same form. You just start with a blank. Add co-approved rodeo from rodeo producer. So if your association co-approves or co-sanctions rodeos with another organization that is also in rodeo producer, you can click this button and simply select that other rodeo. Now you have to have that set up in your settings that you are co-sanctioning with another partner organization. But all you have to do is select the other rodeo, and all of its information is included in here then. And if it's changed on the other end, then it's updated here. If you want to simply copy a rodeo, if you want to copy the May rodeo to make the June rodeo, hit the copy button, a couple of quick edits, and you will copy a version of the May rodeo. It will not copy any of the entrants or any of the results, any of the scores or anything like that. There's no entrants. It will copy the format. You'll have to change the dates, and it will copy the events included, that sort of thing.